Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by Shane Flynn Outdoors and checking out this episode of Fish Chatter. This is an episode where we chat with other YouTube fishermen, learn a little about them and their channel, and maybe even tell a fish story or two. Today, we have a unique fisherman. We've talked to a kayak fisherman in a previous episode of Fish Chatter, someone who fishes out of a bass boat. But in this episode, we're going to talk to someone who primarily fishes from the bank and does some unique things to get out there and catch fish. Today's guest is Russel from RWA Fishing. Check out this clip.
He picked up a lot of grass on the way. Oh. Oh, but he's a nice one. He's a nice one. Oh, look at this chunky rascal, folks.
Hey, everyone. With us today is Russel from RWA Fishing. Hey, Russel, thank you so much for joining this afternoon. Russel and I both live in Northern Virginia. He actually lives in D.C. I live in Northern Virginia, and we're getting ready for a little snowstorm tomorrow. So, Russel, thank you so much for joining us. And why don't we get started? Tell us a little bit about you and where you fish at and things of that nature.
Okay. Well, actually, I got into the fishing game would be considered late. I was about 13 years old, and my family was at one of the local parks that's on the river. And I was just walking around, and I saw a guy pulling fish out of the river with a fishing rod. And I said, that looks real interesting. So I went over and watched him for a while. What he was doing, it was during the shad and herring run. Mm. And what he was doing, he had one of those weighted treble hooks, and he was snagging them like that. He wasn't hooking them in the mouth, as Charles would say on his channel. And that really piqued my interest. So after that, I started reading about fishing, and I started watching Roland Martin and Bill Dance. Man, those guys they're fishing royalty.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I decided, I want to bass fish. And at that time, I didn't have a automobile. I used to actually catch the bus out of DC to different fishing places in PG County, Charles County, and even the Tidal Basin, which is actually a pretty good bass fishing spot. And it's so funny. Sometimes on the bus, people aren't paying attention, and they'll grab the rod, think you just wanted to pose.
Wow, that's funny.
And it's funny. I see them bending over and they catch the balance. And I always have to remember, don't leave any open hooks on the rod when you're traveling.
It's self-critiquing, though.
Yes, that it is. And that's how I got into fishing. When my grandfather found out that I was interested in fishing, he gave me some of his old gear, which some of it I still have, quite antiquated. It's probably museum quality by now. But unfortunately, I didn't get to fish with him, but I still have a lot of the gear that he gave me.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah. That's awesome. And DC is really quite a decent area for fishing. I fish mostly the lakes and the river from the bank. Occasionally, I'm invited aboard a boat, which is always a treat and a thrill. And that's pretty much how I got into it.
Yeah. So Russel, as I mentioned before we get started, I've been watching your channel for quite a while, and I said this, and I mean this with all kindness. You're a true grinder when it comes to fishing. Yeah. You put on the hip waders, you get out in those lily pads, and you get out there and you cast, and you find a way to catch fish, and it's just amazing. And it's a blast to watch. Just your last couple episodes, this wintertime, and you were in the water, Russel.
Yeah.
And that water is not warm. I was in it today. Oh.
No, it's not.
So you are, there's two things I think of, living in DC, people, it's a big city, right? So you definitely fit the status of a urban fisherman, right? You know?
Yeah.
And also, I got to throw you in. You're a true fishing grinder. You get out there and you catch those fish, and you don't let nothing stop you, which is just extremely impressive to me. Yeah.
What's one thing? Fishing does teach you patience.
Oh,
It
absolutely.
does teach you patience.
And as you and I both know, living in this area, you got to have a little patience.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So Russell, I know you said you typically fish from the bank, which we see on your channels, and sometimes you get invited onto somebody else's boat to go out and fish. Do you have a preference, or is it just getting out there?
Just getting out there. Just getting out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, one of the times I was invited aboard a boat, I was actually bank fishing, and the guy came up and we just started chatting. So he went to his boat, and on his way out, he shouted at me, "Hey, if you want to go out, come on." So I grabbed all my stuff and said, "Hey, went out."
Wow.
I actually caught one too.
Yeah, I think I seen a video. Did you film that video?
Yes, I did.
I did see that one. That's right. I did see that video. Wow. I mean, that it's you got to give it to people who are give them a thumbs up when they say, hey, I'll just help put anybody in a boat, help them catch fish. That's a good thing, right?
That is.
I wish everyone had that kind of kindness in their heart about many other things, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
But the motto of my channel is enjoying the outdoors. Mm-hmm. And even though you live in a metropolitan area there in DC, you find a way to get out there and enjoy the outdoors. It's pretty amazing. And I think you mentioned most of your fishing you do in Maryland, right? Versus,
yeah.
Yeah. Is there, you don't have to give away your fishing spots. I'm not asking you to do that. But do you prefer moving water, rivers, streams, or do you like ponds, lakes? What's your preference?
Actually, I would probably fish ponds and lakes first, because in rivers, I have less access to where they might be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I can fish ponds and lakes more thoroughly.
Okay.
But usually when I know the fish are going to be shallow during like spawning or early fall on the river, that's a good place to be.
Oh, sure.
River fish definitely are stronger.
Oh yeah, they got the water is so much more oxygenated than it is in the pond, right? So they
yeah.
I love the smallmouth fish, and there's a huge smallmouth fight hard streams or lakes, but they fight double hard in the river.
Bet they do. Yeah. I've caught a smallmouth in the tidal basin years ago when I first started fishing.
Yeah.
Oh, when I first hooked it, I thought I had like a 3-pound bass on it. And when I pulled it up, it was like a 1.5-pound smallmouth.
Yeah.
I didn't know they came that far down the river.
Yeah. They do travel. I've heard of folks catching them in different spots. It's even on the Potomac, you can find them sometimes further south than you would think. But they are tanks to catch. They have a big attitude, if you will, when it comes to fighting. So Russell, you've had your channel going for quite a while. Could you just tell everyone, what you're going to expect when you tune into an episode on RWA Fishing?
You're going to see someone who loves fishing. You're going to see someone who every catch is a thrill, and you're going to see them having fun doing what they do, even during the grind. You're going to see someone who is happy to be out there, happy to share what he is doing, and at peace.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, it's amazing. I know you've done a couple of episodes with your brother. You guys went out trout fishing.
We always had such a great time.
Yeah, it was a great episode. The couple of episodes you had of that, and it's just really good to see, Russell, that you can, even though you live in a metropolitan area, you can find time to get out, enjoy the outdoors, be happy and be at peace, and do some good fishing. Yeah,
definitely have to get out of that city element.
Yeah, I hear you. I live down here in Stafford County. I got 4 acres down here. That's why I live 55 miles south of DC. But my office is in Reston, Virginia, so I have to drive up there a couple times a week, which is no fun.
Yeah, that's really quite a hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah, it's an hour drive. But I will tell you, just getting home and being out of the metropolitan area and being in nature out here, it's worth the drive for me.
Absolutely.
And it's a little bit easier for me to get to some fishing spots that I like to fish around here too as well. So, we all got to find our way, right? To find the time and find the place to get out and enjoy the outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
So Russell, I've seen you fish with many different baits, but I got to ask you, what's your comfort bait?
Probably it would be the plastic stick worm.
Okay.
That and a close runner to that would be the paddle tail swim bait.
Okay.
Those are my comforts. Usually, if I can't get a bite on anything else, even if I'm frog fishing, I usually throw a worm, get a bite on that, or send a paddle tail swim bait through the pads and grass.
And you catch them with that. You do real well on that frog, though.
Yes,
a lot of goodness on that frog. Yeah,
that frog fishing is my favorite.
Yeah,
that's my favorite. But the other two are the comforts.
Yeah, so the as I was mentioning earlier, I fished a bass tournament a few weeks ago in Florida, and the guy who won the one bass tournament caught them all on a frog.
All right.
I was like, we didn't even think about using a frog. Frog's a good bait. Bass love frogs. There's no doubt about that.
They sure do.
Yeah. So Russell, tell us a little bit. This is the moment I like to talk about. Let's talk about a fishing story. So talk to me and tell me, what is one of the most memorable fishing experiences that you have had in the past? Sometimes you may want to call it your epic. Some people call it their epic fishing experience, but most memorable / epic fishing experience you'd like to share with us.
Okay. That is actually a saltwater experience. Years ago, my wife, who was my girlfriend then, my mother and my aunt and her boyfriend, we joined a fishing club that chartered a bus that went and chartered a boat out of Morehead City, North Carolina. So we went and fished out in the ocean, and it was amazing. On the way out and in, pods of dolphins swimming along the boat. Every once in a while, a school of flying fish would fly by. A couple of times, hammerhead sharks would be swimming around the boat.
Oh, wow.
And so many different species of fish were caught by various anglers around the boat. Triggerfish, red snappers, mahi-mahi, groupers, bluefish, and some others I can't remember. Or dolphin is mahi-mahi. My wife, she said, she keeps forgetting dolphin is mahi-mahi.
Yeah.
And it was just an awesome experience. Even the bus ride down, the chatting with people on the bus, having dinner at a seafood restaurant. I remember that restaurant. It's called Scallywags. And to this day, I have not tasted better hush puppies.
They actually left an impression with you with the hush puppies.
Yes. That is my most memorable experience.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, everybody has something different, right? I mean, for you, it was seeing something. Was that your first time going out on saltwater?
It was one of two. I think that one was the first one.
Okay,
that was the first one.
Yeah.
And the water was just so blue and beautiful too.
Yeah. Everyone has a different experience for sure, and getting to spend time with family and friends going down and back probably added to the experience as well.
It sure did. Sure did.
That's awesome. Well, Russell, another question for you, and I kind of already spoiled it a little bit. I was going to ask you how much fishing you're going to be doing this winter, but man, you're still fishing. Now, I hope you don't go out tomorrow in the snow.
Well, I have to go out to go to work. That's about it. But I do fish all year. The only things that stop me are if the weather is the roads, in fact, are bad enough that I can't travel, or if the lakes momentarily freeze over.
Okay.
And usually when they do, it's only for a few days.
Yeah. So if you had to say how many days a week you get out and fish, is it 1, 2? How many days do you think you get out?
Well, during the warmer months, probably most of my fishing is after work. I usually go like 3 or 4 times after work, plus the weekends.
Okay.
But during this time of year, with it getting dark so early, once a week.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe twice. Maybe twice.
The light, not having daylight, past 5 o'clock makes it tough. I was loading the boat tonight. I was out on the lake and 5:20. I was like, it's dark. I mean, you had to have a flashlight. It was. But the good news is we're past the winter solstice, so we're gaining light every night. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Russell, I really appreciate you taking the time to share some stories with us, talking and tell us about your channel and such. I really appreciate viewing your channel and the content you put out. It's awesome. And I just got to commend you again as being, that grinder of a fisherman, getting out there in the cold and the snow and in the hip waders and catching those fish. It's amazing. And again, thank you so much for joining this fish chatter with us. And I hope you catch 2 things. I hope you join us on the fishing challenges on the channel, which I think you will. And I hope you catch some big fish this year.
Thank you. I enjoyed this experience so much. I'm really glad you invited me to come aboard.